Good morning. How are you doing? It's Anna from Pink Dragonfly Consulting here, joining you on Monday, the 2nd of November already. And boy, whether you are in England, Wales, Scotland or Northern Ireland, my goodness, aren't we up against it right now? And I guess some of the announcements over the last week and particularly the weekend are leaving people feeling all sorts of things, and a lot of it I think is down to the fact that actually we are no longer in control of what we are doing. And us humans, we like to fool ourselves. We like to fool ourselves into thinking that actually we are in control of this thing called life, and that we can map it all out and we know what's going to be happening and we plan ahead, don't we? That's what we do. We do planning. So we put things in the diary and we plan ahead. When that's taken away from you, from us, and there's seemingly no end to that, it can really, really mess with your mindset. And let's chuck in all the other stuff. Let's chuck in the stuff about health and family and, this awful disease that is killing people. And people are forgetting that. They're forgetting that actually now we have an NHS which is almost at full capacity. Not just with COVID patients, but with others. And something's going to tip. And actually, whether we agree with what's being implemented in our respective countries across the UK doesn't really matter. The reality is that those are the rules. And it's not just about me. It's not just about you. It's about us. And we all have to play our part in doing what is asked of us, because we live in a democracy. We elected the people who sit in the Houses of Parliament, and they make the rules. And currently they're making the rules based on lots of advice from other people who are eminently placed to give them advice about the health and the well-being of our populations. But that doesn't help how you're possibly feeling this morning. And for many of you, I know that that's really going to cause some extreme difficulties again in your business. And I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to tell you how to get over that, because actually the reality is that some of that may not be getting overable. I know that's not a word, but you know what I mean. We all have very different businesses. We all have very different business models. This whole thing about we're all in the same boat. We're not. We're all on the same sea, but the boats and the vessels that are navigating those waters are all very different. So here's just a couple of things for you to think about this Monday that might help you to navigate these waters over the next 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever it might be. Let go of the fact that you cannot control everything in life, and maybe start by coming from a place of gratitude. Now, I'm not preaching from a place of comfort here. Both myself and my husband are self-employed, and this year is not easy. It has not been easy. It has been really hard at times, and it continues to be hard. But we have a roof over our heads. We have food in our stomachs. We have family who are safe wherever they might be, even though we can't see them. We still have our jobs, whether they be scaled back, non-existent, up and down as they have been this year. And there's a lot to be grateful for. I've got the internet. My goodness, if you're watching this, you've got something to be grateful for, because you have things around you that are making your life better than they would otherwise be. And it can be really tricky to come from a place of gratitude, to think about all the stuff that you have got when we are focusing on the have-nots, what is being taken away from us, what can't we do, what haven't we got control of. So really, you really need somewhere just silent or quiet where you can just really think about those things. And it might be a struggle to write down even 5 things. But if you do that every morning, you know, sometimes all I'm grateful for is waking up. I've made it. It's another day. I've woken up. I have a bed. I'm warm. I have a husband that supports me. I have food. I have this. I have that. They don't need to be grand things. And in some respects, it's even better if they're the little things, because the little things are the things that add up to all the stuff that makes your life better. So focus on gratitude. That's number 1. Number 2, if your business is going to be impacted again, particularly after Thursday this week, we don't really know all the details of what's going to be happening. I would suggest, and it is only a suggestion, that you remove yourself from all the negativity that is going around. So I particularly choose not to watch the news or not to have the news on all the time. I know that I have to keep up to date with things that are happening, but I don't have to surround myself in that almost mass hysteria that the press and journalists manage to conjure up, not only on like the television news, but also very much through newspapers and through things that are online. You have that choice, so that is in your control. You can remove yourself from that. If you have people within your circle, whether that's on social media, who are friends and family, or who are business acquaintances in networking groups, if what you're seeing is all negative, and you know that impacts on you, turn your notifications off, come out of the groups, mute stuff, just take a break. Because what we do not need is to be whipped up into a frenzy of negativity. What we need is to remain calm, focused, balanced, think of the things that we can be grateful for. And if your business is impacted, I really want you to use this time wisely. And using it wisely is not about getting whipped up into a frenzy and sitting there in a pool of negativity. This time could be about finding out what financial support you are entitled to. That's a practical thing to do, because that keeps changing, doesn't it? So make sure that you've got that knowledge. You know, if you've heard me talk before about the money stuff, that knowledge is power. And whether it's a good or a bad scenario, you need to know. So find out what financial support you can get. And then use your time wisely. Are you someone who very often leaves your accounts right until the last minute? You're filing on that deadline, 31st of January. Use your time wisely. How about getting ahead of the game? How about putting some structure and processes into your business? How about thinking about what you will do when you can start trading again? How about putting a contingency plan together? Because if this scenario plays out over the next 3, 6, 9 months with these spikes and peaks and troughs and, you know, implementation of different rules and regulations, how are you going to manage that? What is your contingency plan? So many businesses don't have them, and it's really important to do that. So think about how you can use your time wisely to benefit your business and therefore yourself. Because you can get your bookkeeping and your accounts done. You can tidy up your email inbox and all those folders. You can sort out all the shit that's hiding under your desk. I am speaking from personal experience. There are so many things that you can do which will positively impact your business right now to help you when we emerge out the other side. And lastly from me, if you are not in my Build Your Brilliant Business with Anna Facebook group, it's a private group for women, and on Wednesday we'll be doing our normal month-end review and forward planning for November. And I'll also be popping a section in there which is all around contingency planning. So it's live in the group on Wednesday, she says, looking at her diary. It is at midday on the 4th, Wednesday. So come and join the group if you want to come and join us live. It's always recorded. You can watch it back when it's convenient to you. And there is always a resource book and workbook to help guide you through the process of reviewing, planning ahead, looking at positive outcomes and focused action. And we'll also be looking at contingency planning. So that might be something that you want to think about this week. I have rabbited on enough. Stay calm, stay positive, stay grateful, and be safe. And I'll speak to you all really soon. Take care.